Hello everyone, hi, it's me Giffyglyph. Welcome to Social Encounter, a little D&D stream where I sometimes talk about D&D. What is going on? Good, okay, that's sorted. How's everyone doing today? Hi, it's Sunday, coming up to the end of March. I've got tons done, and we might have a talk about some of that. Spoiler alert, I haven't got tons done. It's been a really frustrating week, so we're just going to go over some of that. We're going to talk a little bit about what I kind of want to do for the rest of, well, I guess the upcoming week, which is Monster Maker stuff, or at least start the wheels in motion for that. And then we might spend some time being distracted at stuff, because it's me. Hey Lex, hey Fawn, hey Mimic, how's it going? How's it going? Anyone been up to anything interesting, anything cool, anything that is going to distract me for 5 minutes? Hey Jota, how's it going? You did hear Foundry. So Foundry, obviously, is what I've been spending this month obsessing about, right? Oh, Carpenter Brute, by the way, if you haven't listened to any of their stuff, they're fucking amazing, so get on it. Or it's down here. Yeah, there we go. Directions. You should look at some community CC classes. Yes. So yeah, you and Mountain Dew have been fucking racking those up. So yeah, so we might have another kind of look at another couple of those. I can't stop partying in VR chat. Oh. I really need to get a VR headset. I've been meaning to get one for about like when did the Oculus come out? About 5 years ago. What's the current hotness in VR? Ooh, the Quest. All right, hang on. Let's just Quest 2. All in one VR. Ooh, okay. Interesting. So this is like the Oculus one, right? Wasn't there? There was a big. I remember there being like a big brouhaha about, Oculus and Facebook and all the connections therein. A self-contained one is pretty fucking sweet though. Wait, how much is one of those? Just out of interest. Okay. The one PewDiePie did the knees with. VR chat is excellent. Really satisfies that need for social interaction. Yeah, I'm starting to, now that everything's starting to unwind. It's oh wow, it's only okay. 300 quid. That's a lot less than I was kind of expecting it to be. Okay, that's pretty sweet. Now, how does it work with glasses? So, I think the previous one was like I had a friend come around years ago actually and bring their Oculus headset, like one of the early ones. I found it kind of annoying with glasses back then, so I don't know how does a new headset's any better at dealing with glasses. If the cult pulled cash, would you take a commission to do a Foundry module faster? It's sort of, I mean, I guess it kind of depends on, hang on, where are we at? Notepad. Yeah, there we go. It's interesting, I haven't really thought about commission work, partly because I'm already kind of, being supported through the Patreon and whatever. What Foundry module are we kind of thinking of? Because, hang on, actually, let me just catch up on 46 cult chat up. Actually, I mean, that would be kind of fun, actually. I've seen videos of like VR chat, and it looks like a nightmare, right? With everyone with the custom avatars and... You can't escape me now. Oh, 17 months. Oh, thank you, Kaz. That's super kind of you. 17 months. Okay, we're all getting very old now. Oh, Beat Saber. Yeah, that's the fucking good one. Yeah, I've got another friend. I've got like 2 whole friends, who really enjoys Beat Saber. Yeah, Half-Life Alyx. I kind of watched the videos because I was intrigued, and I knew I wouldn't be able to play it for ages. The retcon that they do at the end of that game to the story of is I'm kind of interested. I don't really know how, and it kind of opens up a lot of questions, right? But kind of interested now. Although, like, a large part of me is just, oh, they'd written themselves into like such a hole narratively that they had no idea how to get themselves back out of it, right? Some of the cultists were thinking enough for you to take a day off to day or two, and probably the. It's interesting, like, because I feel kind of guilty, like you know, doing a commission work in that sense, Lex, because you know, like, people are very kind and generous with the Patreon and Twitch subs and stuff, so it's like just stacking money on top of that. It's like, But I mean, in fairness, the Monster Maker module is kind of what I'm intending to start on this week. So we'll just kind of catch up on why I'm on and blah blah blah. So hang on, where are we at? Where am I at? Oh, so I'll just show stuff off. So Quick Quest Foundry. I've been picking at this for like the last few days, well, weeks, because I'm very obsessed by it. So I kind of had perks figured out, and then I've just started to unpick it so I can properly code it properly and do translation supports. I also kind of rejigged the equipment table so that it's using a proper table, and you can now update stuff like live from the table here, basically. Which is kind of like a nice time saver, and I kind of had to learn that stuff anyway. So Quick Quest is close, but I've been saying it's been close for about like 3 weeks, right? Ice and Cards are just going through a small little rejig, blah blah blah. It's just in such like a state of basically endless tinkering, which is good, but I'm kind of at the point where I know a lot of people are waiting for stuff like Monster Maker, so in the interest of that, hang on, where are we at? Oh, the other stuff that I kind of figured out really was like how to do proper rolling attributes, which is like really Foundry's just amazing to code for. So now you can just pick attributes and modules, and like whether it's a private role or you have advantage or disadvantage, boom boom boom, and you know, then it does the roll and it does the math, and it's so sweet. Oh my god, why is my camera way off? Hang on, let me just fix that. Better. So this is Quick Quest, and this is Quick Quest as it's been for like last 2 weeks, right? It's just endless tinkering, which is extremely frustrating, you know, for me and for, you know, you guys, right? Because copy paste inventory for tab for, yeah, exactly. So the UI is basically figured out now. There's just been a lot of tinkering this week. It's like I say, it's just constantly on the cusp of being done, which is like, But so with Quick Quest kind of in that state where it's kind of on the edge, but I need to get stuff kind of done by the end of the week. I want to make a couple of changes to the Monster Maker web app first and foremost. So hang on, let me just bring that up. Not the Grimoire, the app, right? Okay, so there's kind of a couple of useful things that I think we can do for the app just within the week, basically, just to kind of speed up some Foundry work. And the first one of that is going to be export to Foundry. So this is going to be like a very quick kind of, it should be a relatively straightforward thing to add back in, you know, an export to Foundry format. So we can do that relatively easily. And hopefully that's going to be fine. The other thing that I kind of want to add in is level requirements for abilities and traits. So something that I was speaking about before, I think it was last week, is one of the great things about Monster Maker, in my humble opinion, is you can just level up monsters on the fly, right? Easily, you know, it's like boom, boom, boom. You know, it was level 5, but I want it to just be level 15 for this thing, or like whatever. Which can be kind of useful, but maybe like you're designing a complicated monster, like you've got a solo monster that has like, you know, 10 or 15 different action abilities, right? And maybe you want to bring that down, you want to level that down, but you don't want it to have quite so many abilities because, you know, that's too many abilities for a low-level monster or whatever. So what we're going to be appending to things like traits and actions is a sort of level requirement, so they will only show when the monster is like at below or, you know, above a certain level. So that should make it much easier to shift and scale your monsters for your encounters, and just kind of, you know, just do that comfortably. Something else that people have requested is ability score overrides. Ability score overrides. So at the moment, the app, it calculates all these on the fly, right? Because Monster Maker monsters, actually, we really don't care about the attributes for the most part. It's these pre-generated numbers for your attacks and your damage and blah blah blah. So what we just basically want here is the ability to add in overrides that will set those attributes to specific values if and when you want them. It'll just be like another tab effectively where we can, you know, you can just add in an override, you'll choose an attribute and a value, and then it will hard code it to be that. So hopefully those three things. Then you say the detail boxes need to be extendable. Which detail boxes are you referring to, Mountain? These ones? Because they should be, right? Oh, well, you're not aware? Yeah. So they're just standard text boxes, so they should be vertically resizable, which hopefully is useful. So yeah, so those I think, or at least I'm hoping, will be some useful. Actually, there's something else that I need to add for more advice examples on shortcodes, rounding. So this is something that I've seen crop up a number of times in the Discord, and I think Lex, you kind of jumped on that pretty quick the last time I saw it, which was, you know, thank you for that. So there's that, and also a reminder that the app doesn't do any saving of its own. So this is something that's cropped up a couple of times. Some of you might have experienced this yourself, where the app uses cookies basically and local storage to record and keep track of its vault, right? Because it doesn't do any database storage. It's all localized to your machine. So, you know, if you switch machines or you clear your cache or you delete all your cookies, oops, that's your entire vault gone, right? And something I don't really do, or like when you kind of, I guess, first visit the site, I should probably make it very clear to people that that is a risk, right? You need to be saving this vault basically to a JSON file if you want it to be, I guess, persistent through that kind of, you know, damage. So I'm hoping that those three things are going to be relatively straightforward and achievable within the week, which will basically tick off 2 goals that I was kind of hoping for this month, which was 1, you know, get Quick Quest done, and 2, get Monster Maker done, or at least on the path to being done. So. App updates. So then we'll have, following on from that, will probably be an Foundry module, right, for the Monster Maker. So as we've kind of discussed before, blah 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 blah. Return to setup. Test 5e. So in the long run, I think what I would like for the Foundry module is, at the moment, you can create non-player characters, right? These are your monsters. Blah blah blah. So something that I'm kind of umming and ahhing about. We're kind of getting into the weeds a little bit here, but it might be useful to get some input from you guys anyway. Which is, oh wait, hang on, sorry. Why is one of the pieces of equipment one of the Kamigawa dragons? Oh, in Quick Quest, I think I'm just using like some of the icons that they have in Foundry. So these are all, I guess, just example things. I'm horribly excited for Paragon actions. Gonna love torturing my players with them. Oh, yes. Paragon actions, I absolutely love. I mean, they're just kind of essential, right, for solo monsters. A lot of people, when they start using Monster Maker for the first time, just look at me, is so why do you have things like Paragon actions and why don't you give monsters just like legendary actions, right? There's already a system in 5e, it's legendary actions, blah blah blah. But in my experience, like, legendary actions are kind of shit and don't give you enough flexibility and don't really scale either with party. Like, if you look at all of the solo monsters, the amount of legendary actions they have is very fixed. So if your party size is scaling up or down, it just doesn't respond very well to that. So legendary actions, easy mode, right? Make a new actor type that is monster. Yes. Hey Kenku, how's it going? Hey, you're fine. There we go. You got there before me. Yeah, exactly. So I think what we're looking at here for Monster Maker is instead of a non-player character, we're going to be specifically creating a new automated like monster type. You'll create it, it will have a character sheet, and much like the Foundry, the app. Actually, let's see if we can half and half this. So I kind of want to take this full approach and just basically transplant it into is shift it into Foundry pretty much wholesale, right? This sheet I want to look like this kind of stat block. And then it will have an edit page that will effectively look like this and have all of these options, right? So because Foundry uses JavaScript, I'm hoping that I can just kind of reuse a bunch of this content, which is going to be super useful. And is also why I'm looking into doing these fixes for the web app first, because that way I'll already have like the code, I guess, fixed or thought out. Anyway, that's the rough goal. Because then, yeah, so it'll be a new monster actor type. Ports Foundry, ports app creation method to Foundry, and then as a sort of like optional, add in encounter. Is that like an item type or encounter type? I'd have to look at what that would be. I guess it's an item, right? Item type, I think. So the Monster Maker document, obviously, it contains rules for nope, that's not the right page at all. Monster Maker, Grimoire. Yeah, here we go, right. So Monster Maker also has rules about like creating encounters, right? So you could just create an encounter, say how many players you're going to have, and that would just tell you the number of like monster points, and then ideally you could just drag these monsters into it, and you know, there you go. You're kind of building up an encounter that you could refer to at some point in the future. That's the rough plan list. But if anyone, again, I don't use Foundry to play in, so if anyone's got any specific ideas or requests or advice, then, you know, now's a good time to kind of drop that in. Oh, hey, Vinicio? Yeah, we'll go with that. Mostly use a combination of legendary actions, Matt Colville's villain actions, or paragon actions. Ooh, what are villain actions? Interesting. Let's have a look. Villain actions. Villain actions occur on different rounds of combat at different points in time. Okay. Let's just have a quick look at this, shall we? Occur sequentially. Villain actions are kind of cinematic, legendary. Oh, interesting. So they kind of look like, are they sequential? First two villain actions, blah, blah, blah. So you do a roar, you rush, then you make a bite. Oh, okay. In a way, they kind of sound a bit like the overkill actions, but might have to dig into those. Legendary for group combat, Paragon for solo bosses. Interesting. Villain action, easy use of copy and paste from the Grand Grimoire into Foundry. Formatting can be moderately fudgy. I'm not. Do you have an example of it being fudgy? So the Grimoire should just be. It just uses standard HTML, right? So. sure what I could do about that. Yeah, all of this should just be standard HTML, so I'm not sure what Foundry would be doing to screw that up. Use them as hit point actions, 1 for 100%, 75. Oh, that, I mean, that's a great way to do actions generally on monsters. I always love to have some kind of signifier, especially for solo monsters, when you're at these kind of like important breakpoints. Well, for solos we kind of have the phases, right? But when you're dealing with any kind of monster that can have lots of hit points, having these clear visual signifiers that the players have achieved something can be really useful. Copy a table from the grimoire into a handout. It can be odd. Interesting. Alright, let's just give that a shot. So like this, right? Create an entry. Blah, blah, blah. Or like that. Oh wait, sorry, I just didn't. Like this, right? Light. Yeah, so I mean it could be a case of like the, you know, there's like a strange odyssey. Okay, save entry. Let me close it, let me reopen it. So those look fine, those look fine. It's kind of looking okay to me, so just saying. Yeah, as there might be like specific examples of like tables that have bespoke code in them where stuff might be odd. I guess, but on the whole, these tables just use straightforward HTML, so I'm hoping they would just work fine. Hoping being the key word there. I was like, oh. Right, where are we at? Oh, hey Team Knight, how's it going? Isn't 4 modes a bit too granular? Well, I think like 4 modes is, if you were talking about something like, you know, the solo monsters that I run, or some of like the big elites. If you're expecting a... Because I like my combats to run on quite a long time, right? We're talking like at least... If a combat lasts anything less than 10 rounds of combat, why bother running it, you know? At least in my humble opinion. So having breakpoints at that point, when you have monsters with, you know, so much health can kind of be useful. Commander with villain actions can have something like command his minions to focus a target, command them to spend their reaction. Yeah, that makes sense. Hit point actions just sounds like phase transition actions. I kind of, yeah, I mean, I guess they're a little different in that a phase transition is basically much more cinematic and transitional for the solo monster, whereas this could just be like a single action, right? Oh, the creature reaches 50 hit points, it can make an immediate attack against an adjacent creature, right? Because it's enraged, right? Something like that. I think 4E used to use that kind of system a lot as well, which is, you know, just so much fun to design for. I love doing those kind of encounters. Okay, all right. All right, so what are we at? So I think that's kind of... That's me caught up, basically, in terms of, like, what I have done and what I'm planning to do or try and get done for the rest of the week. Does that actually answer stuff for you, Lex, in terms of Foundry moduling? It's kind of annoying, actually. Like, the last couple of weeks, I've actually been genuinely frustratingly busy with my real daytime job, which is like, ugh. Oh, no, actually, no, that's... Oh, wait, hang on. No, there was another thing I've done. There we go. I finally started putting the VODs up on YouTube. Yay, I'm the absolute best. It only took me... we don't talk about time on this channel. It's like, no. So... So basically, you can now start accessing VODs basically on the YouTube channel. So at the moment it has like the last 5. And I'm going to aim to try and like upload about like 3 or 4 a week so we can try and get through that backlog. Something that... yeah, there we go. Speak of the devil, right? Like fucking cracking that whip. Hi, Fabre. How are you doing? I just came to say that I could watch the stream. See, I've made life too easy for Fabre now, right? No, I tell you what I'll do. I just won't upload the latest VODs. I'll just upload the old ones, right? We're going to go right back to 2 years ago. But yeah, sorry, what was I doing? So, actually, this was something... We'll just kind of talk about this quickly while I'm on the subject. So, blah, 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 blah. So, in terms of the VODs and things, boom, 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 they're all here, whatever. One thing that I started to do, right, or one thing that I kind of would like to do more of, certainly with these, is, I know I threw this in the Discord and stuff, and it's like, maybe it's not necessary, but when I see like a 2-hour video, I'm with no markers, I know I'm not going to watch the whole thing, right? So I kind of want to kind of go back and start adding in some of these quest markers, or maybe I'll do a bounty system. I could do something on the Discord, right? Maybe that'll be it. Let me think about that. But it's a really nice, like chapters are a really nice thing. But when it comes to the phase transitions, do any of you find it pretty hard to make the monster feel different enough, but not the same? So I think a lot of it is kind of... where are we at? Hang on. So phase transitions tend to be, or at least when I'm trying to think of an encounter, right, or design a combat scenario, you're trying to create a transition that is going to be, what's the word? Environmentally and narratively relative? Does that make sense? Is that the right word? Probably isn't. I always try and look at who the party members are and try and make the phase transition relate to that party, those party members in some fashion, if I can do that. Because you want the combat or you want the players to feel like the combat is happening because of them, right? And the monster is transitioning because of them. So I always try to connect things to the party as much as possible in those scenarios. Hang on, where are we at? So I hope to see the stream uploaded tomorrow. Why you gotta crack that whip? Why you gotta do it? So this is interesting actually, because you've kind of experienced this from the other side, right? Or like, there's probably a difference between when I'm academically talking about D&D and when I'm running it, right? I think we all have that in us, where it's like the way we run a game might not be how we think we're running it, right? Or like how it's coming across. And Tame, you've experienced quite a few of my solo monsters, right? Because I kind of like solo fights. Oh, hey Shreddy, how's it going? I'm shocked you have VODs from 2 years ago. I thought Twitch burned them. Yeah, so it's because I've still got all the files, like lots of files. Like I've got like I basically record every stream that I've done. So so I have all of them. I just need to do the uploading. Smart GM, mate. I think that's it, right? I just need to GM the VOD uploading. Feature suggestion for MM web app, just like you can hide features based on level, also have a hide by monster type option. How do you mean, Mountain Dew? So, hang on, let me just let's just bring up the web app. Blah, 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 blah. Criminal actions, don't need you right now. Let's make it you do. Look, we've all got tropes that we fall into, right? Mine is just boss monsters. I love boss monsters so much. You can just do like so much cool stuff with solo monsters, right? I think a large part of it actually stems from I wonder if it's, you know, again, I'm not that I'm tying everything to potentially being ADD, but I mean I obviously am. I tend to find combats so much easier to run as well, right? When I just have one monster to think about and focus on. So I think that might kind of be a reason why I'm so particularly drawn to solo monsters. It's like, oh good, I only have to worry about one set of stats and like blah blah blah, right? So it's like, yes, I'm going to do this all the time if I can. But then I also fall into the trap of, well, now if I run an adventure and it doesn't end with a big boss fight, what's the deal? All my plans work exactly the way every time. I mean, that's the right way to do it. Just never ask questions, I think, about your DMing experience, right? And you'll always be right. I think that's what I need to start doing more of. Oh, by the way, I saw your sort of Darker Dungeon point crawl stuff in the Discords earlier, Magic, and oh god, I love the look of that. Like that in Foundry looks to be like a perfect kind of way to run that stuff. It's so nice. Is that all done by hand, or do you have a module that kind of helps you construct those? Hang on, where are we at? Just so hyped for DD on Foundry, just transition to it, and the platform is amazing. Oh, yeah, it really is. Like, I built the character sheet for Roll20, which was, you know, fine and whatever, but Foundry to develop for is incredible. Like, it's such a good platform to build stuff for so far. I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, hopefully. We kind of spoke about this a little bit last week, right, which was what approach am I going to probably be taking with Darker Dungeons and Foundry specifically. So hang on, let's bring up Foundry. So I think the approach that I'm kind of leaning towards at the moment, right, is creating discrete modules that almost in a way mirror the handbook, right, where it's like, okay, I want to use Darker Dungeons stress in my game. I'm going to activate that module and connect it to the existing character sheet, right, the tiny one perhaps, or whatever. So that way, like Darker Dungeons itself, we'll have a set of we'll have a modular framework that you can just kind of download and plug in. Whether that all kind of connects to the tiny 5e character sheet, or I do my own kind of fork of it so that I have a bit more control over how stuff's going to plug in, then we'll kind of like probably talk about that a bit closer to it. But I saw someone sent me a Reddit message the other day that I just realised now I've completely forgotten to respond to because, oops, where they've done trials. Actually, let me just see if I've got the picture of that. Here we go. Yes. Wait, was it a Reddit message? What am I missing? Okay, yeah, here we go. So someone's already kind of like done a trials module, which is kind of, you know, really nice. I'm glad that people are using trials and enjoying them, which is kind of good. But also is kind of an example of like what Darker Dungeons is probably going to be, the approach I'll be taking when I sort of do this stuff, which is rather than like one Darker Dungeons pack, we'll just have like a lot of related modules that you kind of. But yeah, trials is probably like a really easy one to do actually. Anyway, sorry, distracted. So yeah, I'm excited about like getting into the Darker Dungeon stuff. The only problem is, like I know we've kind of spoken about this before, right? Is while I'm focusing on coding, I'm not getting any writing done. So there might come a point where it's like I'm doing some coding, but then I need to switch back to doing some writing and do like a chapter to Darker Dungeons on Monster Maker or stuff. So there might be some like toing or froing, right? Because I've got to juggle both streams basically. But we'll kind of deal with that as we get on with it, I guess. So like if you have a goblin stat block and you want to make super general because you want goblin strikers as well as controllers, you can give them the same stat block, a striker and controller ability. Oh, I see what you mean. Interesting. Hang on, let's just open up that app. Yes, so these are traits, right? Add a trait, select traits. Yeah, I think I see what you mean, Mounted. Yeah, because they're locked basically to the rolls, right? Where it's like, okay, it's a heavy defender, but that is only going to show up if... Wait, no. Let me have a think on that one. Actually, I'll put it in as a question. Lock. Lock. Actions to roll. It's like 5 of us in the Discord voice. Cup teeth. Absolutely not. Although, I mean, thank you for the invite. It's just chaos. Like, I genuinely can't deal with big Discords like that. It's crazy confusing for me. Even when we did the Diablo voice chat, which was kind of cool and nice and everything, it just reminds me how like out of practice I am at dealing with, I guess, more than one person at a time now. It's like because of lockdown. Solo monsters are great for DMs with ADHD like me. Yeah, ADHD unites, right? I'm still waiting for my referral. It's been like 10 months. No, wait. August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 7 months. 8 months. Yeah, that's 8. Modular DD modules. Also make a complete Dark Dungeons mods. It's possible, although I don't. I don't really think that would help us in the long run. I'll name them all. I think like related. It'll be like Darker Dungeons stress or Darker Dungeons diseases or something like that, right? But I think we'll just kind of keep them separate because even when people are using Darker Dungeons, right, they're kind of they're still cobbling it together and choosing which modules they connect to. So, posted the instructions on how to point crawl in Foundry before. Yeah, it looks that. Okay, hang on. Let's just have a. Oh man, you have to do it with a... Oh, that sounds exhausting. Oof. I'm surprised someone hasn't got like an easy module for that or something, where it's like you could just put nodes on and then flowchart connects them kind of thing. Trust mod is pretty good. It's got the formatting and everything. Yeah, it's really good. I mean, anything that emulates something that I spent way too much time obsessing over the appearance of, you know. I put stress, survival categories, wear and tear, and dangerous magic all in the same module personally. Oh, interesting. Yeah, see, I definitely wouldn't do that. I mean, in a sense, yeah, they're kind of they're thematically kind of interconnected, but only in like the very loose sense, right? You can use survival conditions with stress, but very often, like you kind of don't. Even I don't really run all of these together at the same time. So I think what we can do is like have modules that can interact with other modules, right? So we can have ones where it's like, oh, okay, you've downloaded survival conditions and you've downloaded stress. Well, Foundry can be aware of that, so we can have them kind of reflect some of those things. At least that's what I'm hoping. Again, you know, still got a lot more to learn about Foundry, but exciting times. What do you mean? It's literally just click and drag. Oh yeah, I just mean in terms of like the work it takes, right? Or the what's the word? Because you're just drawing a map at that point, right? What if you wanted to shift like stuff around? Now you have to like. Instead of modular modules, a single module that you can enable or disable stuff that you do not want on the module config. Yeah, so I think we talked about this on a previous stream. So the reason I'm going for doing for the discrete module approach is that the kind of the smaller and more focused we make a project, the easier it will be for like other people to maybe do some code work on it, or pick it up, or customize it, or whatever, rather than end up with this big kind of monolithic module, which I tend to code towards because I'm a very bad coder. But yeah, my gut feels that like smaller modules are going to be more flexible and easier for other people to kind of get involved with. That's the hope, anyway. Took a super simple concept of clicking and dragging and then made it. Look, if there's one thing we can learn from the fact from everything that I've written and constructed over the years, it's that I can overcomplicate anything. I mean, Darker Dungeons. How many pages does it take me to explain, like literally, like just anything, right? Let's. What's the simplest chapter that I over embellish? I wonder. Let's have a look at this. What have we got? What have we got? What have we got? No, Trials is pretty compact. It's diseases. Disease, I think, takes up the longest. Or like, I spend a lot of time talking about disease. It's probably that. Stress and survival conditions could be its own, and dangerous magic with wear and tear could be better combos. Yeah, they could be. They could be. 6 of us. Fucking with you. Look, that means I've got an audience, right? Works for me. Done. Also, I mean, who can laugh at this? That's crazy. Simplest chapter is survival conditions. Trials is the most compact. Yeah, Trials, I think, actually, like, in terms of, I mean, the creating adventures actually goes on for a bit. I think it's because, like, when I tend to write, I'm always trying to preempt someone asking a question, right? So I always, like, part of it is explaining what the thing is, and the other half of it is trying to just teach someone how to run it, basically, or use it in a game. For Trials, I found that very important to do, actually, because that was almost one of the big failings about skill challenges in 4th edition was they gave you some examples of like them in play, but they didn't kind of go through it, I want to say, almost like a step-by-step kind of process, which I always find very important. Also very important for me when I'm writing and designing this stuff, because this is almost a kind of this helps me iron out so many kinks as well in the design, where it's like you know, you're doing a step-by-step run through, or a kind of live play of it almost. And it's just an excuse to write like Clander being a massive jerk, right, which is always a delight. Don't peer pressure the you kind of been doing this for oh god, it's like 3 years now, right? And not learned to shoulder the shame, right? Looking at your trial pack chapter, you cover trials in a box and then go on. It's not going on, right? It's educating people on how to run a trial. That's the difference, right? Because there's always, actually, it's like I've got to teach someone how to run one and how to make one, which are like very core parts of it. You know, like with trials, you could kind of go with this, but then everyone would be like, well, how did you make that, or how did you come to those numbers, and what would I do if I wanted to change this, or how does it happen, like what's the gameplay loop for this? Like, there's so much education you have to do beyond the stat block itself, is kind of what I've discovered. So much of Darker Dungeon, like early Darker Dungeons especially, was embellished through responding to Reddit kind of questions that a lot of people had. You know, I'd post Darker Dungeons and then someone would have a question, and then I'd realize, oh, I have to like add that into the text and you know, expand. Oops. Anyway, sorry about that. I still somehow bastardized trials into what I made them. Oh, this was the character quest goals, if I remember rightly, magically. Am I right in that? Also, I realised the disease compendium is underutilized. Once I finish CC, I shall show you what I mean. Ah, okay. Yeah, disease is, I think, it's probably one of the least used chapters of Darker Dungeons, even in my own playthrough. Will Darker Dungeons have support for translations? I DM in Portuguese, and since it's yes, it absolutely will. So this is actually, let me just bring up so actually you probably won't even be able to see here. So a large thing that I've spent this week basically going back over with Quick Quest as an example is getting it primed and ready for translations, right? So Foundry, it's super easy to just support translation work. So every Darker Dungeons module will kind of have that support baked in as well, because it's super important, right? It's like I'd love in a way to have translations for Darker Dungeons itself. Now that we've kind of got the website, it's possible, like it's conceivable that I don't think I could translate the PDF because so much of it requires specific layouts, right? It's all coded and built in a particular way. But the website, I mean, that doesn't really have layout restrictions. Is that something I could translate, or? It might be. This is where I'd put a. Hey Mickey, how's it going? I know. Sorry, I'm hoping next month. Wait, what even is next month? It's March, April. In April, I'm hopefully gonna go back to a 2-stream-a-week schedule. So that will possibly be Thursday, Sunday, is what I'm thinking. But we'll double check. Oh, Skaven. Age of Sigmar Skaven, but you know, unsubscribing. Get out of here. Pff, I'm not waiting until April. God, I mean, Skaven are like I said, so many models, but they do have really cool ones. Do they still have the Screaming Bell? Wait, what was the other thing they have? I didn't really care for that. Which other, like, the Warp Cannoneers or whatever they were? I mean, that was a long time ago, but... Hang on. Chaos. Skaven, give me the cool ones. Oh, yeah, the Lightning Cannon. Oh, it's so cool. Look at it. It's just a big green crystal magic cannon. Oh, it's so good. Warpstone as a concept, right? Just this glowing, evil, mutagenic crystal is, again, it's something that I bring a lot into all of my D&D creations very often. It's like, it's such a good MacGuffin. And it lets you do, like, cool stuff with Skaven. Which is, like, so sweet. Very brown though. Anyway, sorry, where are we at? Speaking solely on how I'm running your... Why? How are you butchering them, Magic? See potential with the diseases system, but content is my passion. Yes. Yeah, content is definitely, like, this is where, like, you and I are, like, I guess, polar opposites in a lot of ways, right? Because content just kills me. I'm so bad at it. So what, like, watching you kind of tear through all the class compendium stuff is wild to me. Hang on. Okay, let me. Oh my God! Yeah, jeez. All right, yeah, we'll pick up one of those, maybe two of those by the end. Circle of Spores. Did we look at Circle of Spores before? Assassin and Magician. That might be fun. Magician, actually. I had a 2-shot, 2 weeks on the whole campaign was a ship plagued with the disease and everyone was dying and I had to decide if they... Hell yes. Wait, who won the mutiny? That's really good. See, those are kind of like very interesting. This almost, in my experience, is like the best way to use diseases in a way, right? Which is as what's the word? As narrative instigators, right? You know, the trick here really isn't, or the problem that we're trying to get at, right, isn't necessarily the disease itself or the specifics of the disease. It's, okay, what choice are the party going to take with this kind of situation in place? Like, and what sort of moral directions are they going to kind of pull each other in, right? That's really what we're trying to get at with these mechanics a lot of the time. It's like, okay, we want to put the party in a awkward situation and see how they respond, right? It's like you know, just you want to press the rats together and see which one bites first. First thing I did for Giffy was the QQ Portuguese translation. Yes, yeah, that was super useful. Yeah, wait. I'm just gonna double check. GitHub. No, quick quest. I need to get that merged in, right? Fuck, Jota. Have I still not merged that in? Oh, God. You did that ages ago. All right, we'll add that to the, you know, Giffy forgot a thing for about, what, 5 years? Jeez. All right, okay, so this is right. What we're going to do is we are going to just going to start my little Trello here. Merge in the Portuguese QQ translation book. Yeah, you did that ages ago, Jota. I'm so sorry. I'm just like, fucking just, oh. You're making me be rancid. I mean, Skaven are awesome. Like, I think they were pretty cool in the end time story, if I remember rightly, because don't they just like they pull the warp moon down from the sky, which is like, it's so cool. Pathfinder 2e, harsh poison and disease rules will kill PCs and be very frustrating. See, I mean, I think I always try and approach these things right from a narrative focus, right? The trick we're usually trying to do with these mechanics is not to kill players or to what's the word? To render their character unplayable. It's really to like create some drama or create some obstacle that the group will have to like find a way around. And pretty much like there's always a way around stuff. You just need I guess the right ideas, or just you need to engage with the fiction, I guess is the thing, right? I mean, Pathfinder 2e, I can imagine a lot of people are probably like sticklers for like by the rules, right? Which, although this is interesting, yeah. How dangerous are those? So I haven't played Pathfinder 2 since we had to pause our campaign. So is disease in that like particularly? I leave for 10 minutes to talk to a friend, and when I come back, you're looking... Hey, look, I mean, obviously you shouldn't have left, Kaz. It's your fault, right? Let's talk about Skaven are awesome. They're so cool. I mean, they're not. They're awful and rancid and horrifically filthy, but still, they've got warp cannons, so I can only hate them so much. A disease that rots a person's casting abilities are horribly... Yeah. So this is kind of stuff I like, right? Because, or like as a GM, right? I don't really mind fucking things up for a player for a little period of time, because I know there's always going to be a way out of stuff, right? Like I want them to get out of the scenario or the situation, or to find a way to rise above it. But you know, my job is to put them in something that is unfortunate, and to help them like find a way to resolve that situation. So I never really worry about like, you know, you see this kind of a lot with some of the Darker Dungeon stuff as well. Like when I push out, especially back with. What's the most problematic one? Sometimes you see this with like the Monster Maker numbers, right? Where it's like, hey, look, if you use these numbers, you will absolutely destroy a party, right? You will totally kill them. It will be very unfair, and you know, etc., etc. But really, like the rules should always be finessed, massaged. Basically, the GM should always be kind of tailoring the way they run the rules to suit the drama at the table, right? You know, any rule system can be abused by a GM to create an awful experience. Like, so I don't really worry too much about rules being what's the word? Over-engineered, or not over-engineered, but over-lethal, because that's a dial for the GM to completely tailor and dial down. And this is a good call to action. You know, it's an immediate problem, and holy shit, we need to resolve it now because I can't cast spells, so we need to take care of this. But I need to take care of this, but there's like this other plot thing that we need to focus on, and there's this other time sensitive like quest that we're kind of like lagging on. Oh no, now we have like priorities and things to juggle. Not going to port 1, and they went to a secluded island to try and better deal with the plague off the ocean. Oh, okay, nice. Did you put bad things on that secluded island? That means Dark Dungeons on Foundry already got an official translator. No, not yet. So, I mean, one, because I need to build the damn thing. But kind of like I did with Quick Quest, it will be open to translators or people to just kind of like submit a translation file list. So let me just bring up the file again. So all of the translations for a module or whatever will basically be in one file, and if you're interested in translating it for a certain language, all you have to do is just kind of download that file and then submit it to kind of be merged in. So it's pretty straightforward and simple, at least that's what I'm hoping. Check out the Tyranids. Yeah, Tyranids are one that I actually don't really care for that much. I find Tyranids boring, which is weird because I love Necron, right? Which is like, I mean, that's just my robo kind of favoritism creeping in, I guess. But I don't. Yeah, Tyranids have never really like. Yeah, they don't really do it for me, which is kind of annoying. Now, the AdMech, or whatever they're called. Now those are some good boys. What happened to Trello? Trello? Oh, this is my sorry, I've got 2 Trello boards. So where's the other one? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so I still have the original one. I just also have one that is supposed to be my to-do list. So actually, that's kind of... So what I want to do is run my life, or my D&D life, in an agile way for like the next month, basically. So let's come up with a list of tasks that I can try and achieve in the next like week. So we want to upload 3 YouTube VODs. Actually, what was the stuff that I just... isn't this like super exciting? Oh, hey Rasp, how's it going? Your hair is more glorious every time. I know, it's getting so good. Like it went through a phase where I was like really hating it, and now I kind of like it again, and I'm gonna hate it again in a minute. It's just like I don't I have this weird relationship with my hair. Okay, where are I at? Swime Expert. Had an extreme cold rule and a player died because of it. It's one of those very tricky things. I mean, like, we should be clear that like the general rule is a player will whine anytime there is any opposition whatsoever, right? It's like Giffy's. So you know, I love running Z&D. I love being a GM. I love being a GM way more than I love being a player. But you know, players are just big crybabies, right? I mean, it's just even like I do this all the time when I'm a player, right? Which is why I like just, which is why I get so annoyed when I have to deal with it as a GM, right? Just like, look, players don't want challenge; they just want to like roll a dice and win every single time. So the minute you do anything that kind of puts a roadblock in that situation or makes them for 1 minute think about anything, they're going to have a whinge and a cry, right? That's just the rule, right? Because we all want an easy life, right? And now the GM is here coming up with problems, that I have to solve. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to deal with that. So that's another reason why I tend not to worry too much about like the harshness of some rules, because you know players are just coddled like babies. I mean that's just it, right? You should write up and enter a business card version of Quick Quest into this game jam, because it would be... Oh, is that still going? Interesting. So the Pathfinder 2E's affliction system is awesome but nasty. If you fail a roll, you can go to a worse condition and need more rolls to succeed, so it can snowball. Ah, that's interesting. So that kind of that's the one they have, like the stacking system, right? Where it's like you're wounded 2 or 3 or like whatever, right? It reminds me a bit of 4E. Like 4E just had like worsening conditions, right? Which I guess were not quite so lethal because the difficulty to save didn't really increase. Or I mean, it could do depending on the effect, but most times it was kind of like pretty. Sorry, where are we at? Because it's not my IP. Respect. Actually, I mean, so I mean, technically, you can kind of do what you want with Quick Quest, because it is. I did release it on terms, didn't I? Whatever it's called. Compendium, Dark Dungeons, Quick Quest, blah blah blah, PDF. I can't even remember what the license is called, but yeah, there we go. So it's the CC by blah 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 blah. So with Quick Quest, I think you're free to remix. Yeah, here we go. You can share, adapt, blah blah blah. You just can't resell it, basically. So yeah, Creative Commons. Yeah, there you go. I thought, I mean, that felt like the simplest and I guess nicest thing to do for Quick Quest. Anyway, sorry, right, stuff I need to do this week, right? So where were those Monster Maker ones? Monster Maker, export to Foundry, JSON, Monster Maker. God damn it, why did you hide? Level requirements, I can finesse these later. But it's score. God, isn't this like the hot kind of Giphy stream action you all tune in for? To watch me do a Trello list. Oh, this is like... This is top quality work. Watching a 36-year-old man try and arrange his life. it's like, why do I do this? Okay, so I think those are the basic. Actually, there's one more, right, which will be like, okay, Foundry, Quick Quest, release basic. Oh, damn it. Okay, no, that was fine. All right, those are like the things that I need to try and get done in the next 2 weeks, basically. I need to get like a point thing for that. Actually, let me look at that later. Anyway, sorry, what am I doing? Death Fog, Anthrax, other deadly MacGuffins. Great, keep fate points on hand. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, to be honest, like, fate points are the most kind of convenient GM get-out thing you can have, right? You can... When you've got fate points in your game, you don't need to hold back, because you can put players in perilous situations, and if they die, you know, whatever, they'll spend a fate point. And then as the GM, you decide when new fate points go back into the economy. So it's like, oh, if the party are like low on fate points, you just add in more monsters or quests that can reward them with some fate. It's a win-win scenario. You're in this perpetual cycle of control, really, over the illusion of a TPK or permanent death. But you control how deadly a thing is, and you control how much fate there is. So it's kind of a win-win. I will make one in emojis. Imagine liking Necrons instead of the good old Tomb. Yeah, because I don't want to get bone dust like on my table. I want to get like, I just want that shiny chrome. Plus, in fact, it's like I liked Necrons before they had like any kind of character. Now they're all just like Tomb Kings proper. It's like I don't care. This one has some visual similarities to a quick quest. Oh, cool. Okay, no, I see. I love like using icons in this way. Is I'm a big fan of. Hunter's Mark. That's quite nice. It's such an efficient use of space as well. That's something I'm really bad at. Look at one CC class. Yes, well, we'll do that on the stream. Task 1, stream Tuesday. See, I mean, what I've learned though, Mickey, is I don't need to do either of these because it's Sunday and you're here. So, I mean, so I won, right? D&D Agile methodology, that's novel. Well, it's good. It's the yeah, I'm really bad at taking control of my life, obviously. But now that I'm only streaming once a week, I find it really bad to just kind of keep people updated or stay on top of just general minutiae. You know, responding to messages or paying attention to Twitter or any of this kind of stuff. So I'm hoping maybe something like if I start to structure things a little better, that might just kind of just get me going. Task week something else. Yeah, who gives a shit about Sundays? It's like, yeah, whatever. Oh fuck, I'm way behind. Sorry, hang on. Shit, I'm way behind. Giffy's first law, fuck. Newton's second law of yes, there we go. Yes, 100%. Can we railroad Giffy? I mean, how does that happen? You guys must have some pretty rough players. My players can't wait. Well, I mean, it's all in jest, obviously, right? Like, but there's a certain, even as a player, I'm just like, why do I have to do the thing? Why can't you just give me the thing? Because I've got my cool power. Let me use my cool power. Players love to whine, but in the end they'll be like, yeah, exactly. What I love to have, and I'm very lucky with the players that I have, and the friends that I have, right? Which is, during the game sometimes things can get really annoying, right? Or like the party aren't doing what they said they were going to do, and now you have to like ad hoc a thing, or they're coming up with a really dumb plan, or whatever. But it's what I love to have is the drink afterwards, where you're all just like, you have a couple of drinks afterwards and you talk about the game and you just debrief basically. And there's so many like moments after that where you're just like, oh, I thought you guys were going to kind of do this thing, and they're like, oh no, we thought you were going to kind of like do this. blah blah blah, and then you have like this whole kind of like, you know, meta chat about the game. Like it's that's almost like my favorite part of the experience. Herding cats. I mean, it's pretty much that, yeah. QQ, yeah, quick question. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's Creative Commons. You can do whatever you like with it. You just can't resell it, basically. Check out my one if you could. Oh, I think we did. Have you got a link to that? Because I think Lex showed me that last stream, but we can double check it. Oh my god, I'm actually caught up. Jeez, yes, excellent. It's always been sad for me that you can't really do puzzle monsters, Persona Final Fantasy with spinning wheels of elemental weaknesses in D&D because martials. Yeah, it really. Yeah, I'd love to do more kind of like puzzle fights, but puzzle fights are so difficult to do in the moment. What I always try to do now, or what I think about very often with solos in particular, is always create a think smart, quick win option. Trying to so this is something that I try to do when I'm kind of like, it's solo monsters especially, right? Or like long, complicated encounters, which is, okay, you want to have like the dumb option where it's like you can just wail on the creature and just take its hit points down. Or if there's something clever or inventive that players can discover or concoct on their own or whatever, then that's kind of like an automatic win, right? But that just has to be like really hard, like comparatively hard to do as well. So getting the balance for that is kind of like the right trick. Half air people in meat space. I mean, that sounds about right. Yeah. It's one of the great things about, you know, working from home, right? I never have to deal with meat space. My next game is going to be a racing RPG across between. I'm so jealous that jealous in a way, right? Like that you have like the ability that you seem to have, Rasp, to move between like completely disparate projects is incredible to me. Like I get too kind of fixated on a particular theme, I guess, and then I kind of, so I find it very hard to just create like completely separate things that are just going to exist on their own, and like, okay, it's there and it's done, right? Lab crawl and okay, yeah, here it is. Yes, we did have a look at this, right? Yeah. Here we go. Let's have a little look. Okay, so lab crawler Mechnicians? Is that a word? Oh, I thought it was like Mechanician. Okay. Mechnicians. Okay, maintain a crawler on the planet's surface. Yes, yes, yes. Get your crawler to the repair dock before. Yep. Resources limited. Keep an eye on them, and everything will be fine. Okay, yeah. This was like a very important tagline to just kind of put in there, right? Come with this card, 2 6-sided dice, pencil, and a multi-tool. Nice, good theming. Oh yeah, you tend to see a lot of these kind of funny little initiative deciders, right? I've seen these in a few other kind of RPGs cropping up. Then take tools in an anti-clockwise order for science. Yes, yes, yes. So anti-clockwise? What? Are you a monster? No. So the team gets one multi-tool. Oh, this is very nice and elegant. This little top. The layout of this is really nice, Rasp. On each turn, perform an action, gain 2 resources from a subsystem that isn't glitch, then make a glitch roll. It's one of the actions, okay. Mechnician action, advance your lab. Okay, so you mark it 1 up. Okay, you fix a paperclip to a thing. It's still glitched. Weaken your resources. You fix a subsystem by spending 3 resources to clear the glitch from it. Roll your dice against a die glitch. So does it start off with a glitch immediately? No. Okay, so it doesn't. Okay. So we move on to the Tundra. There aren't any glitches, so that's fine. I don't have to fix anything because there isn't anything there. So I can spend a number of resources, and then I roll the glitch die, which is 2 6-sided dice. So it's going to average 7. Wait, hang on. Which one's the glitch die? Ah, okay, hang on, wait. Is that something that is missing from here, or have I misinterpreted this, Lex? I don't see clarification on what the glitch die is, because you have 2 6-sided dice here. So are you rolling both, or is the glitch die one of those 2d6? Yeah. So I roll 1 die as my... okay, it's higher than your roll plus your spent resources. Oh, glitched. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, no, that looks really nice. I like visually is kind of what I'm really impressed by, because it's so simple and straightforward, right? But there's a kind of there's an elegance, beauty to it, which I'm kind of jealous of, actually. These little blocks at the bottom, especially. Yeah, thanks for sharing that with us. You opened it a stream or 2 ago, I believe, did share it, and then immediately, yeah, that probably sounds. I mean, that sounds a lot like me, right? I don't live alone, sadly. Well, it's like, I mean, I'm very lucky. Like, I live in London, so obviously I have to live with housemates because it's London. But I got some really good housemates. They know that when my door is shut, that's it. It's private time. as well. Give aspires to be like Rasp. Yeah, of course I do. Rasp, like, always there with, like, paying attention to other people's work and, like, offering suggestions and, like, kind comments and stuff. Yeah, I want to be more like that. I'm too busy, like, just so obsessed with my own work that I barely, like, fucking pay attention to anyone else. It's ridiculous. It's like, I think we can all learn a lot from Rasp, basically. He's also Australian. Yeah, I know, that's it, isn't it? Yeah. That's the source of the anti-clockwise kind of. Hey, look, it's normal for us. Oh, time check. Yeah, what are we at? 11:15. Okay, yeah, so we're not too much longer, right? But, feel free to pop a review on the page if you'd like. Yes, that's a very good point. I should do that, shouldn't I? Actually, I'll tell you what. Wait, where's the fucking tab? We'll add it to the Trello, shall we? Add review for crawler. All right, there we go. We'll see if I can actually stick to any of those. What happened to Gothic 2? I like playing games generally. Like has just dropped right off my radar. Basically, I think I played like Hades for about 500 million hours, and I think like I assume Strider's just kind of been busy with stuff, or like it's just tired of these streams, right? So. That momentum for Gothic 2 has kind of paused, but it's there in the back of my mind. Plus, I've been so obsessed lately. Has anyone ever did anyone play like Pharaoh? Like this was a game like I played a lot as a kid. I don't think I ever actually owned it. No, I did own it. I bought it like quite late, but I used to play this and I've had like such a hankering to get back into it lately. Like it's just weird how these things just like nestle in your head. You're just like, oh, that's it. This is your new obsession. You just want to think about this and watch videos of this. Nice. I miss having my own place. Yeah, it's like having an own place. It's just so nice, isn't it? Like one day I've kind of resolved to eventually. I want to buy a place and like own my own home and maybe get a dog and do all of that kind of not really grown up stuff, right? I just want a dog. That's basically it. So it's just working up the nerve to eventually like leave London and sort of move somewhere that's actually affordable, right? Can we get a heart in the chat for Rasp? Yeah, all the hearts. At least pop in voice before. Why would I want to do that? I get the reports about the chat. Show's been pretty busy from what I've seen. Yeah, I assume he's got like tons going on. And we're very lucky with our sweet little community, right? Because we don't really have to mod that much, to be honest. You should check out Persona Strikers. Ooh, wait, what's Persona Strikers? Oh, Persona 5, right? Yes. Yeah, I really should. I keep seeing this like pop up everywhere. Is Strikers the new like updated version? Oh, or is it like a remix? There's a few like Crash Bandicoot 4 has just come out on the Switch, so I kind of want to get that now and play that. But then I also want to play like Mario Odyssey and Mario 3D World, because the Bowser's Fury thing looks pretty fucking sweet. I just kind of want to play a lot of things at the moment, and I can't because I want to just code. I compiled a new development for the line and box dungeon. High fidelity presets for people who want to make dungeons fast. Ooh. Interesting. Have you compiled that? Played a ton of AoE, but not that one. Yeah, so Pharaoh is it's not Age of Empires, right? It's just a pure city builder, so it's kind of like it's like Caesar or what other ones are there? Ones of that ilk, Civ Rome and that kind of stuff. You have a slug bow. Yeah, but like, I mean, it doesn't really do much, you know. It just kind of sits there being boring, right? I want a big stupid dog who's just going to get really excited whenever I say walkies. Like, leave lines and move to Wales. I mean, in fairness, I've heard that Wales is pretty beautiful. It's a Dynasty Warrior style sequel. Oh, interesting. See, so Dynasty Warrior is like a genre that I've never really kind of played, or I don't think I understand, because I've watched videos of like there've been a few One Piece ones, and there was a Zelda one, Age of Calamity or whatever that just came out, I think. But I don't know, like, what is it about Dynasty Warriors? Because it kind of seems really, really, really samey. Am I missing something with it? Like the Dynasty Warriors kind of thing. You have like tons of minions that you just smash a basic attack with, and then you have someone who's got more hit points, and then you just smash basic attack with sometimes special attack, right? It kind of seems like that's all there is to it. I don't know what I'm missing. Let us pay you to code. I think that's going to be like the eventual transition of this, right? I'm not going to be able to write anything anymore. I'm just going to be like Foundry coder. Get a Great Dane. Oh god, there's no way I could have like. Have you seen how much Great Danes have to eat? It's insane. They're such big animals. I think like Labrador is probably about like as big as I would go with a dog. But then I kind of like greyhounds. I kind of like the look. They're just like so. Oh. Spaniels, wait, hang on. Spaniel. They're the ones with the long ears, right? Spaniel dog. Yeah, Spaniels are pretty good as well. I mean, you can't really go that wrong with a dog generally, right? I went through a long phase where, like, something happened in my brain, right, where I used to hate pugs, and now I can't, like, now it's impossible to hate a pug. Like, look at them. They're things that should not be, basically. It's so, just look at it, struggling to survive. Bless it. It's third hack and slash, not that just similar to Hades. Apart from the third dimension, this one does have the ability to knock down system, which is awesome. Interesting. Comparing it to Hades. Ooh, okay. Now you have my attention. I need to get back into Hades. I put it down and then, like, what, after about 70 hours. I still don't think I haven't got the, like, the end, the true ending of it yet. Never played Pharaoh. Played the heck out of Scarab. Ooh, what is Scarab? Oh my god! Look at this. What? See, I kind of miss when, like, you know, just this was how games used to look in 1997. I mean, what? It reminds me a bit of. Oh wait, no, I mean, I guess it doesn't. Did anyone play like Future Cop LAPD? Future Cop LAPD. Oh, okay, yeah, it doesn't look anything like this, actually. Yeah, Future Cop LAPD, this was a game I played a ton of as a kid, because it had, like, a great little kind of player versus computer kind of mode, which was so much fun. Anyway, sorry, where was I? As long as it isn't a tiny yapping dog. Oh, yeah, I've got no patience for, like, yapping dogs. That's why kind of like greyhounds are kind of good, because they don't yap. And they sleep tons, apparently. Cats are best. See, cats are good, but I'm allergic, sadly. Oh, hey, Cosme. Thanks for joining. Hades is better, but then I haven't played a game I like better in ages. A game you like better than Hades? Oh, catch you later, Rasp. Thanks for joining. Pleasure as always. Westwards. Oh, fuck yeah. The CNC remaster as well. Actually, have they said anything more about, like, remastering the other Command & Conquer games? I haven't been keeping up to date with there's an old game, Future Cop LAPD. Yeah, Future Cop LAPD, fucking amazing game. Thanks for check all that stuff. Oh, good point. Actually, fuck, it's midnight, so I should probably think about wrapping stuff up anyway. Although, what are we at? I did say I was going to check out a class compendium thing, didn't I? So let's do that now. Which one would you like to get reviewed? I'd say like looked at. Arbalest. Arbalest it is. Wait, where's Arbalest? Pick Gerald's. Yeah, Gerald, give me a preference. Otherwise, I'm picking him random in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Redemption. Come in voice before you leave. Well, the great thing is that as a seasoned GM, I know how to resist all the pressure. I'm a pro. All right, where are we at? Hang on, let me go through this. Actually, let me show it off on screen. So there we go. All right, so as a redemption cleric, so this is a subclass created by Manadu for the class compendium cleric. Redemption domain. As a redemption cleric, you believe everyone has a light inside them that deserves to be given a second chance to shine even brighter. This light, however, is not so bright that it blinds you to their darkness, which must not be afraid to irradiate. So, redemption is an interesting domain because this is effectively the domain that my first major character, Valiant, became like the demigod of in our first kind of big campaign. Started off as a cleric of Kelemvor, and then in 4th edition you could take like the demigod paragon path, I think it was. No, Epic Destiny, that was it. He kind of was a Doom Guide and then became So to like further the lore of that world, he then became the demigod. Like he had a spark of divinity and kind of became the new kind of avatar of redemption in our world. So some high stakes, Manadu. I hope you're not going to disappoint. Okay. You are guided by the following domains. Forgive but never forget. Hold not grudges, but be quick not to trust those who have wronged you. Yes, that makes sense. Embolden the repentant. Empower those who have fallen short. Yes. Scorch the irredeemable. This is proven time and time again. Must be punished. Yes, that's good. Might be a different word we can use there instead of scorch, because scorch implies fire, which you might be looking at. There might be like a word that themes better with light or something, but a minor point. Okay, you gain the following domains: Fairy Fire, Magic Mouth, Daylight, Death Wards, Reincarnate. Yes, that definitely makes sense. Magic Mouth? Interesting. Let me come back to those. Mercy. Okay, you select a creature to share from bloodshed. As an action, you can choose a creature within 10 feet of you. That's no allies and less than 15. Okay. Refrain from taking any actions. You choose a creature within. Let's refrain from taking actions that will, if you are an ally. See, for Mercy, I think you've done this the wrong way round. So at the moment, so when you spare a creature from bloodshed by bestowing mercy on them. So that creature now can't take actions that will hurt another creature, or it will take damage. That's not mercy, right? Or rather, in a game sense, why would a creature choose to do that? Because it's not gaining a benefit from this, right? And it's not, you're not really showing it mercy. You are forcing it in a way to just kind of not deal damage. I think it would be more evocative of like if you bestow mercy on this creature, and if another creature harms it, that creature takes damage, because it is now broaching the power of your mercy. So now, in a game sense, you have this ward effectively where you are bestowing mercy on someone, and if that ward is broached by another creature, that creature suffers damage, not the target of your mercy, because that could be a bit confusing. And it also ends up, there are two kind of ways you could use that aggressively. So you could bestow mercy on an ally, for instance. Actually, you couldn't bestow it on an ally because your ally would... that would probably make this a bit tricky, but I'd need a bit more thought. But that's the direction where I would go with that. Channel Divinity Amplify, you've learned to amplify the light in your environment. You cause a light source to shed dim light to shine bright light. Cone sources. Yep, that's quite nice. Yeah, that's a bit of a flavour one. I wonder if there's something we can do just as an action. So because this is a channel divinity, which is kind of like a rare thing, and we want to this doesn't cost faith, I guess. Okay, that might be fine then. I was going to say this kind of feels like it could you could extend the period of this, so it's not just an action, it could last for like 10 minutes, this effect, but as a reaction when a creature fails a wisdom saving throw, spend 1 point of faith to allow them to roll again. They must use the result of the new roll. It's... I don't think failing a wisdom saving throw is a thing to be redeemed, right? It's not a failing in the creature, or I don't know, a death saving throw perhaps, or like the final death saving throw. There's something here, like you're granting an opportunity to redeem themselves to a creature, which is good. But I'm not sure a wisdom saving throw is the right thing to do there. Refresh the page before looking at benedictions. Okay, let's refresh. That would be good. Come on, refresh. Okay, whenever you finish a long rest, you can choose one of the following benedictions. Okay, magnify. When you use your spend 1 faith point to amplify it to become blinding. Okay. So that's good, or like that's an interesting kind of expansion of it. A creature who looks at blinding light. There might be a way to tidy this up a bit mechanically, because who looks at could be a little bit ambiguous, right? Or like as a GM, I tend to have... I always get annoyed by powers that are written like that, because it always comes up in games. Anyway, sorry. Clemency. Target every other creature that rolls. Yeah, I mean, that feels like the natural kind of expansion of that ability. Prismatic Laser, you gain the ability to unleash a potent blast of light to illuminate the darkness and see your foes. As an action, each creature within become illuminated, which glow and cannot benefit from this ability. So I like that as a capstone. I'm not sure it's a redemption capstone is the, I guess, the the unnatural catch. Because it does focus very much on the light aspect, which it feels very light domain and not so much kind of redemption or redeeming. It's kind of a useless critique because I don't have a better idea to kind of put in place there. But I think that's probably the main comment I would say, which is to be wary of leaning a bit too much on the side of like a light, and more probably on the go more towards a sort of moral choice, right? Or we're looking to redeem someone. We're looking for fallen people, right? Or dying enemies, or even dying NPCs, right? An opportunity to redeem them and so on and so forth. But that's the direction I would probably go, and like whatever. Just go in the same direction, really. Yeah, it's tricky. I can kind of see where you're coming from, because you've kind of got this line here, right, where it's like, oh, there is no light without darkness, and so on and so forth. So I can see where you're coming from, but I think at the moment it's a little bit light heavy, or tying the capstone that specifically to just light is probably a bit too strong. But I mean, it's a nice feature, and you could just cut and paste that into a light subclass straight away, I think. Anyway, yeah, sorry. As always, I hope that wasn't too negative. I'm so used to doing this in my job, where it's just like, no, that's shit, fix that. That's good. But seriously, fix that, and blah blah blah. I love that as my day job. They shall all be favoured with Emperor's Mercy. Yeah, there it is, right? Well, I mean, Emperor's Mercy is fire, right? Or oh god, what's the one where they just burn a planet in Warhammer? Fuck. Begins with an I, isn't it? Immolatus or Warhammer 40k. I'm just trying to think of like what Gabriel does in Dawn of War. What's it called? Exterminatus. There it is. Thanks, Chivalric. Why is Warhammer so cool? just gonna. More negative you are, the more helpful it is. Yeah. Well, wanted negative. Should have come to Giphy, because I got tons of negative feedback. I'm just like oozing with it. Because I need to be able to fix shit and keep on it. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I mean, that's my general approach with criticisms and stuff anyway. I tend to find, like, it's actually not that helpful when you're reviewing stuff to be like, oh, it's so great and it's cool, and it's like, oh, I love what you've done with this thing and blah, blah, blah. Actually, pointing out the good stuff is almost sometimes the worst that you can do, right? Because you can't help it fine-tune or flourish or whatever. But having said that, you need to know how to balance like all of the negative feedback with like, okay, now I need to point out some of the good bits, so it doesn't just sound like a fucking kicking, right? So I think that's it for the night, right? I mean, we're past midnight. So I'm going to wrap up and do some work, because I have a really exciting life. So the next week is basically I'm going to be focusing on the Monster Maker app. and hopefully like have the basic quick quest Foundry module out, or at least released to test is probably where it's going to be. So look forward to that. As always, a huge thank you to all my super kind patrons and Twitch subscribers and everything in between. As always, you know, your support is hugely appreciated. It really is like super kind and generous of you, and it really helps me to stay focused on these large projects, because if you put money in it, now I have to like do the things that I say I'm gonna do. It's awful. I hate it. I hate every minute of it. So thanks for that. Thanks for holding my feet to the fire. So yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed everything that's been released, and you're going to enjoy everything that's coming up in the next month, I would say. It's going to be very Foundry heavy, so hopefully that isn't going to be too problematic for people. But like I say, I'll be juggling Foundry and writing, I think, in the near future, because I've got to keep a foot in both lanes, right? So yeah, sorry. Super huge thank you to my Prime Sigils: Adi Weiss Dragia, Anthony Kampler, Alexander von Bos, Barkston, Bird Marrows, Daria Hajik, Dor Sivan, SC Wessel, Fallon Tumbear, George, Hoots Kanku, Jordan Linden Lees, Mickey Minaj, Necrotic Fawn, Nick Gable, Strider, and Tristan Bassinet. As always, you know, your support is just really kind. So thank you all very much. Hope you all had a lovely time. Lovely to chat with you. Look forward to seeing the VODs on YouTube in the next, whenever I can remember to put it up, so that it doesn't annoy Fabre. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all again this time next week, basically. So have a lovely week, and good night. Bye.